No. You know what? Fat people are not monsters. Why don't you guys have a little more sensitivity?
Don't be tempted now.
I'm not even a little bit tempted. It's a little bit nauseating, to be honest.
Kom een burger.
Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another video. Today it is Monday, July 24th. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today I'm doing another My 600 Pound Life compilation, and this time I'm talking about the most disgusting enablers on the show. Now, often on my channel, I talk about enablers, and I say it's virtually impossible to get to be superly morbidly obese, like 5, 6, 7, 800 pounds, without somebody there to help enable you. You can't get there on your own. I mean, maybe it's easier these days with all these different apps where you can get all the thousands and thousands of calories you want delivered to your door any time of the day or night. But in most circumstances, these people need somebody else to help them get there, and I know that by experience. You need somebody doing all the shopping for you, all the cooking, all the cleaning. You need somebody to even go to work and make all the money so that you can live there rent-free, doing nothing but laying in your bed all day long while everybody else toils around you to make you happy. Now, having these enablers makes it even more difficult to lose weight, because if you have somebody there serving you hand and foot, giving you everything that you need so you don't even have to get up out of bed, well, what kind of better life is there than that? You live lavishly like a king while everybody else does all the work for you. And you just get to lay there and play video games and do whatever it is that you want to do. So we're going to watch this compilation for My 600 Pound Life. Let's get into it.
With surgery, I'll be walking and moving and going. He talks about it's not that he will not be sexually attracted to me, it's that I'll be repulsive to him.
What up, guys? It's Jess. I am so excited about this video. You have no idea what you're about to witness. I'm watching Lupe's episode, okay? You know the girl who needed fat removed around her neck so she could breathe while in a diabetic coma? The one who peed herself and just sat in it for hours? Yeah, so she was enabled by her boyfriend Gilbert, the one who ended up cheating on her in the end by sending Bible verses to sexy ladies online. Yeah, Gilbert was a total piece of work. So imagine my surprise when Gilbert popped out with another 600-pound baddie long after Lupe's episode ended.
I often talk about how it's absolutely horrible that a lot of these people who do have relationships on the show, they are in relationships with feeders. They have a vested interest in keeping their person fat because they're into that. They get a sexual kink out of it. So yeah, they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep them fat, including going into the grocery store and bringing out all the cakes and donuts and whatever it is that they want. That includes helping take care of them in terms of, yeah, if you can't even go to the bathroom, let's put a towel down in our vehicle so you can pee on it, and I'm going to go take care of that. Like, it's absolutely gross. You know, I did a compilation not too long ago where somebody, you know, had to wipe for them. They just started dating not too long ago, but this guy was already wiping her down, wiping her butt, and she hasn't wiped herself in 7 years. I mean, it can't get more disgusting than that, can it?
For the longest time, I felt totally fine about my weight. I was actually kind of proud of it. I guess at about 19 years old, I found the organization NAFA, the National Association for Advanced Fat Acceptance. And that's when I decided, you know, whatever size I am, I'm just gonna be this size. Who cares?
You truly can't discuss dirty, rotten enablers without talking about Zalin's husband. I've covered Zalin a lot on this channel, but here's a reminder if you're not familiar with her story. When she was like 19, she joined NAFA, the National Association for the Advancement of Fat Acceptance. Yeah, I never heard of that either, but she became their queen.
When you go to NAFA, you meet lots of men from different countries. If they have the means and they want to hang out with you, then they're gonna pay your way.
If I ever get around to making a full episode of My 600 Pound Life, and it's still in the works, I'm still trying to get some time to do it, but this person should be the first one that I cover, right? Her fat acceptance views are absolutely nonsense. She talked about how she was 19 years old and proud of the fact that she was overweight. And then she joins NAFA just to date guys. Like, she was traveling all over the world and meeting all these guys. I mean, that's totally hedonism, which is what the whole NAFA organization was started for. It was started by a guy who was into fat chicks, and that was it. Now they're saying it's an organization to help fight back against all the fat discrimination out there, but at the end of the day, it's really a way for men to meet fat women. That's what the whole organization is about. But then you get to the inevitable conclusion of what happens when you stay fat. when you have no qualms with it, when you keep saying you need to be accepted being fat, when you have all this fat acceptance movement behind you, and then here she is on the show talking about how she needs to lose weight, trying to get weight loss surgery because the consequences of her obesity have caught up to her.
You think you could go on like this forever? Living like this with no consequences? There are always consequences.
So all the people who come against me and say I just need to be nicer to people, like seriously, this is the inevitable conclusion. You can have all the self-esteem and whatever that you want. You can feel good about yourself being fat, but it's always going to come down to the consequences of it. And they're always going to catch up with you 100% of the time. There's no way you're going to escape it. You can join NAFA. You can do all the stuff that you want. You can get on TikTok and make all the videos that you want. But at the end of the day, your fatness is going to catch up with you. It's going to destroy your life. And if you don't do something about it right now, it's going to kill you.
I was staying in 5-star hotels and skinny dipping in the Mediterranean. I'm having the time of my life.
She got wined and dined by men who were attracted to her, probably a bit more dining than whining, but nonetheless, she was living good like this.
You know, I had a cute little matching panty and bra set. So I took a picture of myself in it and I put it on my profile. That's when I met my husband.
She met her husband this way too.
She looked so big and comfy and soft and squishy. I like big women, and she was their queen at the time.
I like big women, and they're all big and squishy.
I shall call him Squishy, and he shall be mine, and he shall be my Squishy. Come here, Squishy. Come here, little Squishy.
And that's just gross. Like, if you're really attracted to a person's fatness, like, you have no right to try to date somebody who's fat. If that's the only reason that you like them. Because whether you realize it or not, you're going to kill somebody with that attitude. You absolutely are. Because you're going to do everything you can to prevent them from losing weight. Because that's what you're attracted to. You like that squishiness of them. You like the fatness. That's what gets you off, and it's sick. Maybe you need some therapy as much as the fat people need therapy. Because if you don't help them change, they're going to die. And then you're just going to move on to the next fat person and you're not going to give a damn about it.
He loves him a big woman.
At 29 years old, I was 520 pounds. That's a quarter of a ton. My weight was starting to take a toll on my health.
But eventually, her health took a toll for the worse. She became borderline suicidal because of how bad that extra weight was making her feel.
When I first met Charlene, it was her size that attracted me to her. But now she's gotten so big, it's impossible for us to do anything. And, you know, I guess you just got to be careful what you wish for.
You got to be careful what you wish for? Dude, you were wishing for this? I mean, yeah, that's the whole psychotic part of this. You were wanting her to be fat. You were wishing for this. You were happy for this until you got to a point where it destroyed both of your lives, where you couldn't do anything, where she became borderline suicidal because it was destroying her life that much. The pain, the agony that does not quit. Even after losing 200 pounds, I am still in agony every single day. I still have to get up and go to work. I still have to do things as normal and cook for myself and clean for myself and do all the things that normal people do in their lives with all this extra fat and skin still hanging off my body because I'm not where I need to be yet. I need double knee replacements. I need all kinds of surgeries. I'm probably going to need another weight loss surgery here in the future. Like, it's going to take a lot of work to lose the weight. See, while you're all up in your feelings and enjoying all the binging and all the good feelings you get from food, and you're getting all the sexy time because people are attracted to that sort of sickness, you're not thinking about the consequences. You're not thinking about the future. And in fact, all the NAFA people and the fat acceptance people actually deny that there are any consequences to it. Maybe show them this episode where they'll see the direct line between fat acceptance and what's going to happen later on if you don't get some help and if you don't lose the weight. But what you'll never be able to do is convince me that they should have a right to stay fat because it makes them feel good. When this is the outcome 100% of the time, where the only decision you have left is to lose weight to save your life. When you become a burden on your family, when you can't even raise your kids, when you have somebody else doing everything for you, this is where it leads to.
He wants a fat wife. He wants what he's physically attracted to. That's what he wants. He has a physical preference for his sexual needs that requires me to be bigger than, just fat.
Her husband's such a jerk, he doesn't even go to the doctor appointments with her. And when it comes time to go under the knife, you will absolutely, positively not believe what this man has to say.
With surgery, I'll be walking and moving and going. He talks about it's not that he won't not be sexually attracted to me, it's that I'll be repulsive to him.
You know, I like bigger women, so it's a little upsetting to lose what you like. But I mean, you know.
Why do you have to be such a negative Nancy?
We'll see. Let's hope it doesn't turn around to bite us in the butt.
Oh, that makes me so angry. The fact that he's trying to convince her not to get weight loss surgery, to stay fat, because that's what he likes, that's what his sexual preference is. And to tell your wife that you're going to be repulsed by her if she loses the weight because you can't get your rocks off anymore, that's the worst kind of person. I'm sorry, this person is terrible. To do this to your wife, when she's crying, when she's begging to lose weight because it's destroyed her life, she can't handle it any longer to the point where she's near suicide. And I'm sorry if that's a word I'm not supposed to be saying on YouTube, I don't care, but that's where she was. And you're gonna try to dissuade her from that. You want her to stay in agony so that you can get your rocks off. I mean, at some point she should leave him. She should leave him if that's the way he's going to act about it. That he is putting himself and his feelings and his lust over her well-being.
Listen, Zalin is awesome, both in and out of the fat community. I'm sorry, but stepping up like this for yourself and your kid, even if it means losing the love of your life, she's strong.
Gareth insisted on picking me up today, and of course he's going to be late. Asked him to be here at 11, but at 8:45 he still hadn't left home yet. I know somewhere inside of his heart he must care.
We should make a video of the most punchable husbands on 600 Pound Life. Homeboy would take the crown. And these hands.
I'm not looking to do no dieting, mind. I mean, I'll be considerate around you eating, but I'm not looking to do no dieting.
He wasn't even on time to pick her up after surgery and then makes it a point to tell her he refuses to diet with her. But wait, it gets literally so much worse.
Ooh, hello, baby. From the daddy. Oh, yeah, I smell bacon. Bacon makes everything right.
This guy is absolutely terrible.
You are a rude, terrible person.
I'm sorry, he's the worst. The fact that you're gonna go through a drive-thru after your wife had surgery and she's trying to save her life, you are seriously doing that to antagonize her. That's the only reason why you're doing it. Because if you really cared for her and you still wanted to eat that way, fine. You can do that on your own. Go when you're not with her, but the fact that you're dragging her with you to the fast food drive-thru means you're trying to get her back on the wagon with you. You're trying to prevent her from losing weight, and eating that badly right after surgery is dangerous. It could kill her, literally kill her. She doesn't have the appetite for it anymore. But you're gonna talk about, oh, bacon is so great.
You'll do what I do and believe what I believe. So butter your bacon.
Yes, Father.
But the fact that you're gonna do that to her shows you have absolutely zero care for her whatsoever. You only care about yourself and getting your own rocks off, and that's disgusting.
Don't be tempted now.
I'm not even a little bit tempted. It's a little bit nauseating, to be honest.
Oh, my burger. Okay,
I think I married a jerk, but I think he doesn't know any other way.
He takes her to Burger King right after surgery. Jerk move, but it gets even worse. Zalin wasn't even tempted by the food. She was totally just chilling, standing strong. He literally made her hold and smell a burger just to taunt her. Somebody get this man off the screen before I start swinging.
Exactly, and that proved it right there. Not only are you going to eat in front of her and talk about, oh, how great this bacon is, let me have sex with it, to going to handing her a burger so she can smell it, so she can feel it in her hand. It's like handing a cigarette to an ex-smoker. Smoking in front of them is one thing, but actually handing them a cigarette? I mean, oh man, like the temptation is nuts. Right after surgery, you're not going to be as tempted because like your appetite is down to zero right after that. And so you know you're going to die if you eat that food. So to right after surgery, take her to the fast food drive-thru, taunt her with the bacon, eat in front of her, and then hand her a hamburger. Even though he already had a hamburger, so did he buy her a hamburger just to taunt her with it, hoping that she would eat it, knowing that it could probably kill her if she ate it?
You weigh 750?
Mm-hmm.
Who takes care of you at home?
My mom. She
she had the gastric bypass.
She had gastric bypass. Why is she providing you too much food and keep you at this weight?
Next up, we've got Margaret. Even though her mom already went through weight loss surgery, she enables her daughter to be obese. In fact, Margaret has the highest BMI Dr. Now has ever seen. Plot Twist should give out awards for that kind of thing.
She has written the stuff that she needs to read every day and follow the diet. If she's not able to follow the diet, we're not going to be able to do anything for her.
We're going to follow this diet. I had the gastric bypass 7 years ago.
So you should know better, right?
Oh, I know all about that. No, it makes me have the heart palpitations, the dumping syndrome. It makes me just feel plumb miserable. No, I know my limits.
Her mom talks up a big game to Dr. Now and tells him she's the last person he needs to worry about on her daughter's weight loss journey.
By the time I was 20, I was pushing 500 pounds. It was hard for me to drive or do things for myself. My dad became more abusive. After that, my mom reached a point of no return. So she packed her stuff and left with my older sister, Tiffany, to take shelter with a friend. So my dad told me she had abandoned me because I was a fat pig and useless, and she couldn't take care of me no more. Losing her was the most upsetting part of my life.
Yet when she was younger, Margaret's mom left in the middle of the night with Margaret's sister, leaving her behind with the abusive dad. Why would you do that to your child?
She would just sit there and urinate on herself, and that's pretty much where she stayed. I mean, she was always a lonely child to begin with, and now she was being alienated and thinking, Mama don't love me, she's abandoned.
To completely abandon your daughter in her hour of need like that, like, I understand how difficult it is to take care of somebody. Like, I totally get that. She's urinating on herself because she can't even go use the bathroom. She's that big. It probably smells. She's not taking care of herself. You have to do all the work. But the fact that her mom also had a weight issue, her mom also needed to have gastric bypass surgery, but she still enabled her kid to get fat. I mean, that's a whole nother level of abuse right there. So the fact that her mom left might have been traumatic for her, but it probably was one of the best things that could have happened for her in that moment. She could have used it to drive her to change, but instead it drove her back to food. And so that made the situation even more difficult. So it's really hard to understand the best way of handling this situation. I can understand somebody who has a sexual fetish for fat people. So like the previous story we just talked about, where the husband wanted to keep her wife fat. It was disgusting. It was atrocious in every way, but it's completely different when it's a parent. Like, what reason do you have to keep your loved one fat in that instance? What reason? You don't have a sexual fetish over your kid, but maybe it's something else. Maybe it's this desire to have full control over her life. Maybe it's empty nest syndrome in a way where you want to prevent them from getting up and leaving and living their own life, and so you do whatever you can to incapacitate them by keeping them fat so that they do not go out on their own and live their own life without you.
In me.
If that wasn't bad enough, her mom then slam dunks on Margaret, telling the camera she used to just lay there all day and pee herself. First of all, that's so embarrassing. Why would you even bring that up? But the real question is, why did her mom leave out the part where she enabled all of this to happen?
He's gonna be in here. Dr. Now, he needs you to get up because of the blood clot and everything else. You already have a history of DVT.
Yeah, they keep pushing on you and they keep pushing on me. I'm sick of it.
You're not feeling today. I told you I'd reschedule.
It's all about what you want.
Okay, fine, I quit. What's that?
I told you I'd call you next week and we can reschedule.
There's not any way she'll do any PT today to make sure that she can get scheduled for surgery.
Wow, I think this is even worse than what the previous husband was doing. She is preventing physical therapy from coming in so that her daughter can get the necessary weight loss surgery she needs to save her life. How can you interfere that way? I mean, it's one thing to feed her, but it's another thing to prevent physical therapy from coming in to save her and to help her get active. What does she have that she needs her daughter to stay fat, that she's not even going to allow her to get the help that she needs? What kind of mother does that? Like, this is driving me crazy.
I hate seeing my body. I am so ashamed of what it looks like. I just don't feel normal, because no normal person should be really like this. By moving just a few feet, I lose my breath.
Okay, so Karina was another 600-pound patient who could not get her eating under control.
My parents, they do almost everything for me. And I hate that. It should be vice versa. Mom, she wants me to go to the store to go get her some eggs and milk. My weight is coming between me, the people I love, and the people I care, and everything.
Something tells me if you are too big to fit in the seat in a van, that you shouldn't be going anywhere. And I know that might sound a little hypocritical or whatever, because you want them to get out, you want them to do the things that they need to do, you want them to be active and mobile. But she is not mobile. Like, she's not even close to being mobile. If you are so big that you have to lay down on the floor and you have no seat belt that'll even fit you, you shouldn't be going anywhere, because if they got into an accident, man, talk about the mess. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be gross. That is a huge safety hazard. But the fact that the only place she goes is the grocery store is very, very telling.
She was miserable living her 600-pound life like this.
But I'm not sure how my sister will react, because she already feels like I'm taking away from the whole family with how much everyone has to help me. But this is something I just have to do no matter what.
She grew up in a culture of overeating and was constantly enabled by family members in her household.
Yeah, this can be really, really difficult when you live in a family that their whole culture is about overeating and everybody in the family is very overweight. Because then when you decide that you want to change, everybody else is going to have to help you get there, but they don't want to because that's their culture and it goes against what they believe. And then they feel like, okay, well, you're changing. Am I going to have to change? Am I going to have to go on a diet because you're going on a diet? And I actually said in a video a while ago that that was necessary, that if one person in the family needed to lose weight to save their life, that it would require just about everybody to stand behind them and help them and get them to where they need to be. And that means themselves trying to eat better. That means trying to not provide the food that they need, not enabling them, not eating in front of them, making better decisions themselves so that the person can thrive. And I did have a lot of people who are like, Big T, like, what are you talking about? Just because one person in the family needs to lose weight doesn't mean everybody needs to go on the diet. Okay, that's fine, that's fair enough. But as somebody, again, who's lived that, I know how terribly difficult it is to go on a journey and lose weight myself if everybody else around me is eating terribly. But anyways, that's my video for today. I hope you liked it. Please leave a like, please leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it.